Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrinda Devi Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Paridham Ki Shri Dwarka Paridham Ki Shri Ayodhya Paridham Ki Shri Shri Talavana Dham Ki Shri Shri Radha Radha Kanta Mandir Ki Shri Shri Radha Radha Kanta Ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Samadheta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Samadheta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Samadheta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Hare Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shrivani Paschatya Deshitarane Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Srimad Bhagavatam Skanda 2 Adhyaya 1 First chapter Shloka 37, right? Okay. Brahmananam Kshatra Bhujo Mahatma Vidura Rungi Shrita Krishna Varnaha Nana Vidha Bhijya Ganopapanno Dravyatmakah Karma Vitana Yogaha Brahmananam Chatra Bhujo Mahatma Vidurangi Shrita Krishna Varnaha Nana Vidha Bhijya Ganopapanno Dramyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Dramyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Brahmanam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Brahmanam Chatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha.
Nana Bhita Bija Ganopapanno.
Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Dravyatmaka Karma Vitana Yogaha.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga. Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma. Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha. Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno. Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Brahmananam Kshatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varna.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha. Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga. Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma. Vidura Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha. Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno. Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha.
Nana Bhida Bija Ganopapanno.
Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varna.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha. Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Brahmanaya Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Brahmananam Shatra Bhujo Mahatma.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varna.
Viduru Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha.
Nanam Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Nana Vidha Bija Ganopapanno.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga.
Dravyatmakah karma vitana yoga. Pada Brahma,
Brahma,
the Brahmanas.
the Brahmanas,
Ananam, the face.
the face,
Kshatra, the Kshatriyas. Bhujaha,
Gujaha,
the arms.
the arms,
Mahatma,
Mahatma,
the Virat Purush.
the Virat Purush,
Vit,
Vit,
the Vaishyas.
the Vaishyas,
Uruhu, the thighs. Angri Shrita, under the protection of his feet.
protection of his feet,
Krishna Varnaha,
Krishna Vanda,
the Shudras.
the Sudras,
Nana, various. Abhidha, by names. Abhijagana,
Jagana,
the demigods.
the demigods,
Upapannaha,
Upapannaha,
being overtaken.
being overtaken,
Dravya Atmakaha,
Dravya Atmakaha,
with feasible goods.
with feasible goods,
Karma,
karma,
activities.
activities,
Vitana Yogaha,
Dana Yoga,
performance of sacrifice. Performances of sacrifice. excuse me.
performances of sacrifices.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Let me see if there's a purport. Yes, there is. The Virat Purusha's face is the Brahmanas. His arms are the Kshatriyas. His thighs are the Vaishyas. And the Shudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him. And it is the duty of everyone to perform sacrifices with feasible goods to please the Lord. Purport. Monotheism is practically suggested here. Offering sacrifices to many demigods under different names is mentioned in the Vedic literatures. But the suggestion made in this verse is that all those varieties of demigods are included in the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are only the parts and parcels of the original whole. Similarly, the divisions of the orders of human society, namely the Brahmanas, the intelligent class, the Kshatriyas, the administrators, the Vaishyas, the mercantile community, and the Shudras, the laborer class, are all included in the body of the Supreme. As such, sacrifice by every one of them in terms of pleasing the Supreme by feasible goods is recommended. Generally, the sacrifice is offered with clarified butter and grains. But with the progress of time, human society has produced varieties of goods by transforming materials supplied by God's material nature. Human society, therefore, must learn to offer sacrifices not only with clarified butter, but also with other manufactured goods in the propagation of the Lord's glory, and that will bring about perfection in human society. The intelligent class of men or brahmanas may give direction for such sacrifices in consultation with the previous acharyas. The administrators may give all facilities to perform such sacrifices. The Vaishya class or mercantile community who produce such goods may offer them for sacrifice. And the Shudra class may offer their manual labor for the successful termination of the sacrifice recommended in this of such sacrifice. Thus, by the cooperation of all classes of human beings, the sacrifice recommended in this age, namely the sacrifice of congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, may be executed for the common welfare of all the people of the world. Hare Krishna. So, let's see. Brahmanam, the face, are the Brahmanas. Kshatra Bhujo, and the Kshatriyas are the arms. Mahatma here means the universal form of the Lord. Vid Aru. Vid, the Vaishyas, Uruhu, that are the thighs. And Angri Shrita Krishna Varnaha. Krishna Varna means black people. Yeah, black people. Krishna is black and Varna is color. The color black, the Shudras, generally are darker skinned. Generally.
That's why I wore a black shirt today.
So that's what it says here. Viduru Angrishrita Krishna Varnaha. The literal translation is the black color. Nana Abhidha Bhijya. So Nana Abhidha, various names, Abhijya Gana. Abhijya Gana, those, it's translated as demigods. Gana means a group of people. Abhijya, now I really have to look it up, but what I think it means is those who are offered sacrifices. That's what it comes in the translation. In the word for word translation, it's not mentioned, it's just the demigods.
How do you spell gonna?
G-A-N-A.
It's like, I'm gonna do it.
Gana. In Sanskrit, there is a long A and a short A. A. The vowels A, E, U, A, I, O, Aha. So it's not, there's no A like in English A. It's not Gana. It's Gana. If unless there's a long A, Ga or Ga, like the A in but, the U in but, Gana. Or the A in, the long A is like the A in far, So here it's Gana. Na, the long A, na means varieties of. Na, various. Shringaratam, now what is it? We have Nana Shastra Vichara, and then in the Guru Bhashtakam we have that. Where is it? Nana Shringara, right? Different dresses, various dresses. Nana Shastra, various Shastras. So here Nana Vidha Bijya. So offering to various groups of demigods. Gano, Nana Bijya Ganaha. Upapannaha, being overtaken. Dravyatmakaha, with feasible goods. Dravya means things. Dravya, possessions. Dravyatmakaha karma vitana yogaha. Vitana yogaha is translated as performance of sacrifice. So the Vedic system is that there should be sacrifices. That in the Mahabharata, the famous sacrifice is the Rajasuya of Yudhishthira. In order to perform that sacrifice, they had to conquer all the directions. Rajasuya, only the Chakravarti Raja. Chakravarti means a circle. Chakra is a circle. Sudarshan Chakra, the round weapon of Vishnu. So Chakravarti, Varti, moving in all directions. So Yudhishthira had to become the emperor of the entire world. How was that possible? By conquering all the kings. And the conquering meant it might have been a fight or it might not have been a fight. If they accepted Yudhishthira as the emperor, they paid tributes, which you can say is this dravyatmakaha, the feasible goods. They had to give it to Yudhishthira, offerings, wealth. Otherwise, there would have been a fight. And there was a fight with Jarasandha. He would not accept Yudhishthira as the emperor. He was very powerful. Why should he accept? So then Krishna made a plan that they would have a one-on-one fight. That's called Dvandva Yudh. Yuddha is fight in Sanskrit, and Dvandva means between two persons. So Lord Krishna's plan was to go to Jarasandha disguised as Brahmanas, if you know the story. And most of the devotees here should know that story. So, in order to perform Rajasuya, there should be no opposing king. They should have all accepted the superior position of Yudhishthira. And then, after he conquered all the directions, they performed the sacrifice. So what is a sacrifice? When a sacrifice is performed, the mantras of the Vedas have to be chanted and an offering is made. So here it's saying that the offering may not be made to the demigods. The offering could be made directly to Vishnu. So in the Vedas, the different demigods are mentioned, and in the Veda Brahmana section, practical instructions for performing different sacrifices. There are names of different sacrifices. I can't remember all of the sacrifices' names. Soma Yaga. Soma is the sun god, right? Soma is moon god, right, Chandra. So when they perform the Soma Yaga, when they offer the oblations, Ija is the word. When they offer these ijas, so they're abhija, Shabd came here, right? Nana, abhidha, abhija. So those who receive these sacrifices, the demigods, there are different demigods: Soma, Surya, Agni, Vayu, and so many other demigods. Too numerous to name because there's, 330 million demigods. 330 million. So how can we mention all of them? And so when the Veda mantras are chanted and then oblations are put, it may be grains and ghee. That was mentioned here by Prabhupada in the purport. The ghee and the grains are put with mantras. Therefore, one must have studied the Vedas to learn those mantras, to perform those sacrifices. This morning, after the Mangalarati and Prabhuji, one of the Prabhus was reading the Gita, it was mentioned, the three Vedas, one should become a Trivedi in order to perform sacrifices. One has to study the Vedas. A Brahmana is someone who memorized the Veda mantras, either the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda or Atharva Veda. And at the time of performing the sacrifice, they would use various mantras from various parts of the Vedas to satisfy some demigod. Now those same mantras can be used to satisfy Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the demigods. How is that? Because Vishnu took birth as Vamana. The Vamana is the brother of Indra, Indra Sakha. Indra Sayuja Sakha, his friend and his brother. That is described. So, unfortunately in Kali Yuga, the Brahmanas, when they chant the mantras, the demigods would appear in the sacrifice. That was the power of the mantras. But now, for so many reasons, impurities have crept in, and when a sacrifice is performed, you don't see the demigods appearing. So the power of the mantras decreased. They may not be being chanted properly. This is, therefore there were, how do we describe it? Judges, called the Advaryu, the Hotri, I'm forgetting the other two. There are 4 Vedas, so each Veda recitation had a particular judge to see if the pronunciation was correct, if it was the correct mantra for the correct sacrifice. So there were Brahmins for that. And these were great learned scholars. They knew all the Veda mantras by heart. They didn't have to look at the book while they were performing the sacrifices. And they were able to guide others. So that society we don't see now, although there are thousands, not even hundreds, but thousands of Brahmanas in India who study Vedas today. It's not that the tradition died. It didn't. But it has become eclipsed. Just like Prabhupada, well, it's here. Upapannaha, in the verse itself, being the word upapannaha, being overtaken. So Prabhupada in the purport describes modern society. He says that modern things should be offered to the Lord as a sacrifice, dravyatmaka karma. Those offerable things, the action of offering, should now be done with modern goods, not only with ghee, clarified butter, and grains. So what does that mean? So Prabhupada's explanation is that it means using the various types of machines that have been invented for modern society in the service of Vishnu, in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, people lived very simply. The histories teach us the sages were living in simple cottages in the forest. And their only activity was to perform sacrifice. How do we know that? Well, here's the famous story of Krishna and Sudama. Krishna and Sudama were sahapatis, that is the word in Sanskrit, co-students at the ashram of Sandipani. And they went into the forest to collect wood for performing sacrifices, probably for cooking also. But the wood was used for Agnihotra, fire sacrifice. They got caught in a storm. They were trapped all night in the forest. Sandipani came with his other students looking for them, and he found them safely. The story illustrates the point that Gurukul students were engaged in learning Veda mantras to perform Vedic sacrifices. And in order to do that, they lived very simply, because there was no other endeavor, so they had no other goal. Now people are working hard to have a house and a car and whatnot. And these things require, 30-year mortgage requires an income. So the whole society, even in India now, in urban India, it's a similar scenario. People are working hard all day to pay off the bills. Then there's no time for study of Vedas and sacrifice. Now, even in the past, there were classes of people who, even if they studied the Vedas, they didn't engage in sacrifices. Those are the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. They were supposed to study the Vedas in the childhood, but they didn't. I mean, they did, but then they didn't perform sacrifices. The Brahmanas performed the sacrifices. So what did the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas do? So the Kshatriyas administered, we call it administration, but it's really protection of the population. That's the duty of the Kshatriya. Kshatriya means protection. By strength, they protect society from thieves and rogues. Those who, asuras, as we described yesterday. Those who don't know what to do and what not to do. Those who have no moral principles. They can do anything. So there must be Kshatriyas to protect the society. Otherwise, society is overrun by thieves and rogues. That's called anarchy. And there are a few places in the world where there is anarchy. And it's very difficult to live there. The people who are living there are not happy. But where there's a strong government, where there's Kshatriyas protecting the population, there's peace and happiness. Prabhupada commented in yesterday's verse at the very end, that is the way to peace and amity all over the world. So we want peace, but without the strong arms of the Kshatriya protecting society, there can be no peace. And then the Vaishyas. The Vaishyas produce different types of goods. Previously it was agricultural goods. Krishi Goraksha Vanijam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. The natural duty of Vaishya is agriculture, Krishi, and cow protection, Goraksha, and trading. So what did they trade? Agricultural produce. Part of that agricultural produce is cotton, and cloth is produced from cotton. So Vaishyas used to cultivate not only food grains, but also cotton and other oil seeds for oil. That's not directly a food grain, but oil is used. It used to be used in lighting also. There was no electricity. There were oil lamps. And especially this castor oil, it's very thick, and so it takes a long time to burn. So it's very good for non-electrical lighting. Of course, now we have this electricity. You just flick a switch. There's no trouble. When you have castor oil, how do you keep the oil? Nowadays, you go in a shop and in a plastic bottle, there's oil. But in the past, how did they keep the oil?
In a clay pot?
In a clay pot. Thank you very much, Mataji. There was a caste of potters who every day made pots. And pots were used for cooking, not stainless steel, not aluminum. Clay pots were used for cooking, clay pots were used for storage. That's described in the Krishna Leela. Lord Krishna is famous as the butter thief, right? Makan Chor. And he used to steal the butter from the clay pots. So the butter, the yogurt, all of this was kept in a clay pot. One of the devotees here told me yesterday, I eat food only cooked in ghee made from yogurt. That is the Ayurvedic system. Ghee made from cream is not the Ayurvedic system. The Ayurvedic system is that the milk must be turned into yogurt. And then the yogurt was churned. That's also described in the Bhagavatam, how the gopis were churning the yogurt. And Prabhupada commented that's how they kept thin and beautiful, by churning the yogurt. That gives that exercise. The midsection remains slim. And ghee made from yogurt is only used in Ayurveda. Ghee made from cream is forbidden in Ayurveda. The qualities of the ghee are different according to Ayurveda, not according to me. Of course, I cannot quote you just now all of the verses from the Ayurveda. I'm not that expert. But generally, it's a general principle. So, the clay pots, there was a tradition of a community that would make clay pots, and the clay pots were used for storing various types of oil. There's a sesame seed oil, right? The sesame seeds are cultivated even here, isn't it? There's two types of sesame seeds, the black one, and, I'm sorry, not sesame seeds, what am I? That also, the mustard seeds I'm thinking of. Sesame also, there's black and white. Mustard is yellow and black. And so these seeds were pressed and the oil extracted. And that's going on all over the world. It's an ancient science. But before all this plastic or the metal, clay pots were used. So anyway, this is a whole part of the Vedic system, the whole part of Vedic culture. And sacrifice is recommended in the Vedas. And the Vedas are the source of dharma, the source of religious principles. But the ultimate aim of that, Vedaischa Sarvera Hameva Vedya, has to know Krishna. Therefore the Bhagavatam stressed the pastimes of Lord Krishna. This is in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, the description of the opulence and the potency of the Supreme Lord in detail is given. If you don't understand who is the Supreme Lord, then the Krishna Leela can become just a cheap story. The Sahajiyas, those who don't follow morality, they take Krishna Leela to be the activities of an ordinary person. But the devotees understand that he is Narayana, he is the Supreme Lord, the Mahatma, the great soul, the Virat Purush. If you read the word Mahatma, how can you understand the universal form? But that's how Prabhupada translated it in the word for word. He didn't translate it as great soul. He translated it what happened? Brahma, Anana, Kshatriya, Mahatma, the Virat Purusha, the universal form, the great person. Hare Krishna. How am I doing on time?
You're good.
Can we go to questions now?
You can do whatever you like.
Okay. Any questions? We had good questions yesterday.
Prabhuji, I need to go, but I want to thank you for nice class, especially the ones at night. So we'll do it again today, right?
Yeah, sure. It's fun.
Very inspirational and
Thank you.
very nice class at night. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
We were told that when you chant the shlokas, if there is a dot under H,
Visarga.
yeah, when we are reading from the English transliteration,
Right.
if the H dot is at the end of second or fourth line,
Right.
then we should pronounce it like ha.
Right. Aha, ihi, uhu.
Right.
And in the middle, because of sandhi, sandhi,
Yeah.
coalescence, coming together. So at that time you don't pronounce that. The visarga. Here in this verse, dravyatmaka karma. So you don't say dravyatmaka karma, you say dravyatmaka karma. Because of coalescence with the consonant K, the visarga goes away. Visarga means dissolution. It means going away. But only when it's at the end of the sentence. And here it is, Krishna Varnaha and Vitana Yogaha. So you pronounce Yogaha and Vitanaha. But in the middle, where it's Dravyatmakah karma, not Dravyatmakaha karma. But when you do the Padapat, this is the Samhita Pat. The full verse, actually there's no break. This is printed incorrectly. There should be no break, it should be one sentence. But in order to make it simple, there's a break. Brahmananam, Kshatrabhujo, Mahatma. It's not supposed to be like that, but because we don't have the practice of reading it all at once, which is how it's supposed to be in Sanskrit. It should be Brahmananam, Kshatrabhujo, Mahatma, Viha, Vidura, Ruksha, Vidura, Ruk, Angri, Shritat, Krishna, Varnaha, without any break. But we're breaking to make it simple. That's all.
So that means when H dot appears in the middle, we can use the Visarga Sandhi to attach those two words, like for example, Dravya.
Like Dravyatmakah karma, because it's a ka. So there's an extra ka, Dravyatmakah karma. That's the Sandhi rule. It takes practice. And then, practice, and you have to pay attention. Now in the next verse, tomorrow's verse, Yaha Sannivesha Yaha Saniveshaha. So it's Yas, Yas. There's an extra S comes. Yas Sanivesha. Yas Saniveshah. Again, Ka comes. So Yas Saniveshah. Katito Mayate. In the next verse. So yeah, the Sandhi rule applies. Any other questions? No? Okay. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Kal. Tomorrow is Nrsimha Avirbhav Mahotsav, appearance of Nrsimha. So we can read in the Bhagavatam the Nrsimha story in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.